All right, on this first Tuesday in June, today is Maryland's primary election day, the presidential election day. While voters were encouraged to mail in their ballots, still thousands turned out in person to cast their votes, Kelly.
Thousands. And WMAR 2 News' Abby Isaacs live at a polling place in Baltimore after speaking with voters after a pretty big turnout.
Yes, Kelly and Jamie, there have been some frustrations, but overall things seem to be going smoothly. Now, a Baltimore City election judge said that he did get a lot more turnout than anticipated. We are at the University of Maryland Baltimore polling place, and you can see the line stretches all the way around the other side of the building.
Have it any other way. This election is way too important to me, so I'm happy to be out here.
Waiting in line, 6 feet apart, thousands of Maryland voters make their voices heard. Some saying the pandemic and recent protests underscore the need to come out or mail in their ballot.
I'm hoping this has kicked everyone into making this more of an actionable, purposeful decision for them. Like, I'm learning and reading while I'm standing in line and on my phone doing research before I even get to the actual polling booth.
To reduce the spread of COVID-19, the Maryland State Board of Elections encouraged voters to mail in their ballots. And on Election Day, a limited number of polling places are open for in-person voting.
I would prefer to do it in person because I know it counts. I don't necessarily trust the mail-in ballots.
Several Baltimore City voters came out in person because they never received ballots in the mail.
I was waiting for them to email it, so that's why, it was sort of frustrated.
It's extremely discouraging. I feel that this election is very important, and particularly in this time period for us to have to stand out here in masks. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
A number of voters also ran into an issue if their mail-in ballots were deemed undeliverable by USPS. The Maryland State Board of Elections says those ballots were categorized as voted and returned. In those cases, the voter is able to use an in-person provisional ballot. To keep voters safe, they're required to wear masks, and there are markers on the ground to manage social distancing in line.
There's less than 10 people to a room, and I saw them actively sanitizing, so I felt safe.
The polling places and drop-off boxes are open until 8 p.m. tonight, and depending on in-person turnout, there may not be clear winners to be announced until the next few days. In Baltimore, Abby Isaacs, WMAR 2 News.